If you're not using at least half of the AIs I'm going to show you today, you're missing out on something incredible. People are always talking about the latest trendy AIs, but almost all of them are paid. In this video, I'm going to reveal 14 free AIs that you can start using right now. The best part is that some of these AIs are 10 times more powerful than paid ones. And make sure to stay until the end, because the last AI will let you use all the paid AI models like ChatGPT, Claude, NanoBanana for free and with no limits. The first AI is Napkin AI. Napkin AI lets you turn text into visuals, especially for creating infographics that you can then use on Instagram, Pinterest, or your websites. For this example, I selected an article, Key AI Statistics to Remember in 2025. So all you have to do is create a new napkin. And that's what I did here. I copied and pasted the entire article. You have several options. So first, you can generate. The infographic can be generated for just a single paragraph. You just have to select it like this, or you can select the entire text and generate infographics for your whole article. To do this, you simply need to click on the little button here, and it will generate a bunch of different infographics for you. So as you can see, there are infographics that will illustrate the content. A little bit of everything found in the article is included. It's very nice, very well done. You can reuse it in carousels, as I mentioned, on Pinterest, or simply on a website to illustrate everything you're saying. And then you have several different styles to choose from. You can really pick the style that matches your color scheme, your way of expressing yourself, and so on. So for example, let's take this one, and then you just have to export it. You can download it as a PNG, SVG, PDF, or even in PowerPoint format. We'll choose PNG to see how it looks. And when you download it, you'll see you get a nice background, transparent, and you can use this image anywhere you want. The second tool is called the watermark, and it allows you to remove watermarks from images. I selected an image from the internet. As you can see, it had lots of watermarks. And then we get the final result without the watermark, which you can of course download and get in high quality on your computer. And you can even use it for removing watermarks from videos. The third tool is somewhat similar. It's called BG. Buy and BG. Buy allows you to remove the background from a photo. Shall we use this photo of me as an example? And it's a bit like what Canva or Photoshop does, except that it's 100% free. We get the result with a before and after comparison. Of course, you can download it to get your final image with the background removed, and you can also play around with the different methods it offers you, which will give you more or less satisfying results with better background removal. The next AI is called URL to Any, and I absolutely love this one. You'll be able to do a lot of things with it, like turning a URL into HTML, PDF, images, or text. Into JSON as well. JSON is an extremely useful format. When working with AI and different APIs, you can create QR codes and so on. For example, let's take this URL. It's a review I wrote about my sofa test, and we're going to convert it into JSON. So the JSON format will then help us communicate with the AI so it can clearly understand the structure of our page, how it's built, the instructions, and so on. And you can see that it really pulls out all the keys along with their associated fields. Another feature I really like with URL20 is the URL to images function, to images. So let's say there's a website you find attractive, like this one for example, this e-commerce site. We can simply enter the URL to convert, and we'll get not several screenshots of the page, but a single full page capture. And that's really interesting. If afterwards you want to use design tools like LoveArt AI, for example, which allow you to recreate similar website structures from the images you provide, so we download it, and as you'll see, we get the full image on our computer. The next AI, you might know it. It's a little gem called Opus Clip. So Opus Clip. It's pretty amazing. It lets you turn long videos into short ones like shorts, which you can then reuse on social media. So for example, I took a video of myself that I made for my YouTube channel. And as you can see, you get lots of shorts already edited and ready to be posted on different platforms. So you can use it for your own needs, or you can use it to make clips for other YouTubers. And it's really easy to use. You just have to enter your URL, YouTube. You get 60 credits per month, which means 60 free minutes. The only small issue you might run into is that there's a watermark that appears in the bottom right corner with the words Opus Clip. But if you paid attention, with 2 watermarks, you can actually remove the watermark from the videos. Another ultra interesting AI tool is ColorMind. So ColorMind lets you generate color codes that are relevant. So for example, you can use the random generation feature, which will give you color codes, or you can input your own color codes to see how they actually look in a real life scenario. On a website, for example, you'll see here, it really puts things into context in website mode using those colors. If I replace, for example, with green, you can see that it works with green here. And it really lets you see if the colors you've chosen, maybe with ChatGPT, which can suggest colors that might match each other, actually work together in a real life situation. You can also start from template, so the templates This is in relation to SaaS, to software. If you have a SaaS, you'll be able to see a bit, whether the colors match, etc. And the really interesting feature is image upload. And this is where it all makes sense, with the image we uploaded earlier. You'll see, this brings up all the color codes from the page and will save you a lot of time. The next AI, you probably already know it, it's Suno, but I have to mention it because Suno is just so powerful. And the free version already gives you quite a few daily generations. So I create all the music for my videos myself. YouTube with Suno. It's something I use all the time, and for that, it's pretty easy to use. What I recommend you do is use Suno prompting. So Suno gives you all the prompts with very specific instructions. And what I personally do is send all these instructions to ChatGPT, and at the end, I tell it to create the instructions for the style and the lyrics for me. I want to make an English pop song. As you can see, it gives me all the necessary directions to create my track. It even gives me lyrics. And what you have to do next is simply generate the lyrics here, generate the style. So here we are in the Create section in Suno, and then we can just generate. And you'll see, it's super fast. It only takes a few seconds to generate. So it's pretty amazing what Suno can do. In fact, I made a video where I show you from A to Z how to create a song, plus a music video and so on. Using Suno, I'll also put the link in the description. If you don't want to use 11 Labs to create AI voices, you have this free solution. It's a tool offered by OpenAI that actually lets us test their voices with different vibes and so on. Normally it's intended for developers, but you can absolutely use it for free. We're going to take a short text I wrote about which sofa to choose, and we'll randomly pick a voice. And here, in fact, you can change the vibe. You just have to keep clicking until you get exactly what you want. And here, for example, we could use Mad Scientist. Let's hit play.
The Elvis sofa combines elegance and practicality with its polyester upholstery.
And that's what's really interesting. The vibe will really depend a bit on the style you've chosen, and you'll be able to test a number of voices. Countless, and you can really get different vibes every time, all for free. Another AI that I love, which I've used from time to time when I've had microphone issues. And that you can use if you don't have a microphone or don't want to spend money on one. It's called Adobe Podcast, especially with the enhanced speech mode. To use this mode, you just have to drop your audio track in, and it will transform it into very high quality sound. So, I'll show you a little example I made. So, first, let's start with the original. I hope you're enjoying the video, and above all, don't forget to subscribe. So here we have a pretty average sound that I recorded directly on the Mac, and now we're going to turn on the enhanced mode. Here, you choose how much you want to enhance the quality of the speech, and here, how much you want to remove the background. Alright, here we go. I hope you're enjoying the video, and above all, don't forget to subscribe. So you can really see it's like night and day between version 1 and version 2. So really, it's an amazing tool that I highly recommend for improving audio quality, which is the most important thing when you're making videos. Next, we come to a tool that's free. You get 500 credits per day, and it's definitely one of my favorites at the end of the year. I love it. It's Skywork AI, which lets you create tons and tons of things. I made an entire video on the subject, but I just had to mention it again in this video. You'll be able to create documents, slides, spreadsheets, websites, podcasts, and more. Just to give you a quick preview, here's a PowerPoint that was generated by Skywork AI, and it's just amazing. It's really beautiful. It draws on dozens and dozens of sources, 10 times more than the competition. And you'll really get something ultra polished, ultra professional. And this is really just one of the use cases. If you want to go further, I'll also put the link to the video in the description. You'll see, it's just absolutely mind-blowing. Let's move on to a great tool that's going to be very useful for you, especially if you're a bit like me, somewhat disorganized and have trouble keeping track of all your tabs, etc. It's called SaveDay. SaveDay is simply a Chrome extension that you can install on Google Chrome. You need to sign up, and then actually it will automatically sort all your notebooks for you, whether they're websites, videos, or images, so you can find your way around much more easily. You just have to click on the little icon at the top right, and then it automatically saves your website in the right place for you. Next, you probably already know about it, you've probably heard a lot about it. Everyone is talking about N8N and N8N. It's an extremely powerful tool when you want to work with AI, and it has the advantage of being free. You can install it by clicking on the button. Locally, well, that's not what I do. I use a VPS, specifically Hostinger, which cost me about 5 to 6 euros per month, but it actually allows me to run operations all the time without too much hassle. But if you want to install it locally, you can do that without any problem. N8N is even better than Make. It's already quite free compared to Make, and it will allow you to go further, even though I always recommend beginners start with Make rather than N8N because it's still pretty complicated to get the hang of. But if there's one thing to learn today, it's to automate. There are so many things you can do. I talk about it in several videos, but really N8N. It's the tool you absolutely need to start using in 2025 if you don't want to get left behind in the coming years, because it will allow you to go much, much further than other people. We're now coming to the second to last tool, which is definitely one of the most well-known, but also one of my favorites. It's called Notebook LM. Notebook LM, it's probably the most powerful AI tool on the market. So what exactly is a notebook? It's about putting a ton of data into the AI, which can then work on it, create FAQs for you, make videos, podcasts. We're going to see all of that with a concrete example. You can add websites, you can add text directly, you can add documents from your Google Drive, you can import PDF-S, MP3-S, and so on. There are no limits, and Notebook is really powerful. So here we're going to take a quick example with a review of the Maison du Monde Elvis sofa, which I wanted to make a video about. It's simply a matter of putting all your sources together. So here I found a video about the Elvis sofa. I found several websites, so several sources. So here I put the text here, and then you'll see you can generate a lot of things. You can generate mind maps, audio summaries, video summaries, reports, study guides, FAQs, synthesis documents, and so on. The most shocking thing about this tool is clearly everything related to summarization. Video and audio summaries. So let me show you the mind maps, what they look like already. This can be very useful if you're a trainer, if you have presentations to make, and so on. It's really super quick to do. But as I was saying, the most impressive thing, for me, it's the audio generation. So here we clearly have a podcast that was generated by AI, which lasts 40 minutes and 30 seconds, where they're going to debate about this Elvis sofa.
Welcome, Eveline. Today we're diving into the world of a piece of furniture that's getting a lot of attention. The Elvis sofa from Maison du Monde. You see it just about everywhere.
So you get the idea, it's pretty powerful. If you have a blog, if you have an Instagram account, if you're in a specific niche, you'll be able to put this podcast on platforms like Spotify, like YouTube, and get an audience super easily. But for me, the real favorite I've had this year with Notebook, because it's pretty recent that they've added this feature, is video.
So today, we're tackling a star piece from the trade shows, a sofa that you see just about everywhere. We all know it, finding this sofa everywhere. Let's jump right in with the first step. First impressions.
So, as you can see, it's really lively, there's movement, it's like a real PowerPoint. And actually, with a bit of editing afterwards, it makes for great videos. For example, I upload this to YouTube, my team and I edit it. We add the names of a few sofas in the bottom right corner instead of Notebook LM. We put on some background music, and we also add some illustrative images that are also generated by AI, especially with Nano Banana. But make sure to stay until the end, because the next AI you're going to see is incredible. You'll get access to all AIs for free. So, Notebook LM. If you're not using it yet, you can really do everything with it. I highly recommend using this tool. Just like Skywork AI, for me, these are two of the most powerful tools available on the market, and they're accessible for free. We'll finish this video with LM Arena. So here, we're really looking at a real gem. It already lets us do live chats by choosing exactly the model we want. And as you can see, all the latest models are available. GPT-5, Lotopus 4, Gemini 2.5 Pro. We have all the models. You can work with any model, whether it's for text generation or even image generation, including FluContext, Seedream, Gemini for images, Imagen, and then Nano Banana. We literally have every model that exists. So that's for chatting directly with the model, but we can go a bit further with battles as well. Battles, for example, will give you results. Here, I'm telling it to turn this image into a professional portrait. So here, we get the result. With GPT Image 1, we get the result, and with Nano Banana as well. This is revealed once you select which one you prefer. You can also do slide by slide, meaning you'll be able to compare two responses. For example, if you have a query, you can ask Cloud Opus and GPT-5 and see which of the two AIs is more relevant. I hope you enjoyed this video. We really looked at some incredible free AIs. If you want to go further, don't hesitate to check out my full video on Skywork AI, which is just revolutionary. Don't forget to subscribe. See you very soon. This was Romain. Ciao.